This video is about how to use the alumni directory to find alumni doing all kinds of great things, alumni that you may remember, alumni that you may never have met, but you want to find out how to find them. So the first thing you do is go to the Reed College main page and to IRIS login. IRIS, by the way, stands for Integrated Reed Information Systems. When you log in, you'll see the directories are here in the alumni directory, and we'll go here. Now, one of the first ways you may want to search in the alumni directory is simply by name. You remember someone you'd like to meet, or you found somebody on LinkedIn you'd like to find out more about. You maybe saw someone's name in Reed Remote, or you just met them at a Thirsty Thursday. So let's just use Rini as an example. That's the easiest way to find a person that you may know, an alum that you may know. This particular profile is well filled out, so do remember, I'm going to say it 6 or 7 times, go and fill out your profile. There's several new categories for you to include. You may or may not include your home, or if you do, you can have it public or have it private. You can include any of your connections. You can certainly update your employment. And then this is an area that is really helpful for students when they're looking for what you might be able to do to help Reed students or alumni. So here is somebody who's filled out this very, very well. Areas of interest, these map to the communities of purpose, which are used by the Center for Life Beyond Reed. Rather than asking people, what is it you want to do in life, we ask, what lights you up? And so knowing your purpose and your purposeful area, sustainable life on earth could be anything from someone who is a sustainable chef to someone who does marketing using sustainable materials, or someone who's a scientist looking at life sciences in the earth. So looking at a broader range is an area of interest. Areas of research is very helpful. Professional associations, these are new additions, and so if you have professional associations or areas of research, you may go in and add those to your profile. Also new, hobbies and interests and languages spoken. Also new, student affinities, so first year dorm and identification. Student activities. So let's look at how we might use this. So let's say another reason besides looking up someone's name that you know, say you want to find people who work, for example, in a company that you're interested in working for. So you come down to work, you could do a keyword search on employer, and you can find the 12 alumni who work at Facebook or who may have worked at Facebook. In another example, let's look at OHSU, just across the river and up the hill, Oregon Health and Science University. And here we see the 149 matching alumni who work at Oregon Health and Science University. And you can see it ranges all, it's alphabetical. And these are all linked to profiles that you can pop open. And what you may want to do, for example, is refine this search and look for someone with research in their job title. That brings 65 up. And so this is another way. You can also use this filtering here rather than refining. So I might look for a research coordinator. And here I find the 3 out of the total that I may be looking for. So those are 2 ways to refine your search. And that is one way to find through the employer name. Now let's go back and look for, say for example, proximity. So perhaps you'd like to look for alumni who are in Arizona, or in your city in Arizona, or within a few miles of you, and you find the 190 that are in Arizona. And so one thing we'd like to do is refine that and look at for example, people who work in government in Arizona. And here we have the 7 alumni who work for the city or the state. So let's look at another way. So now we've searched by name, we've searched by place of work or employer, we've searched by proximity. Now let's look at professional networks. Say, for example, we just want to meet people who work in theater. This brings up 10 alumni. And again, all of these are connected directly to looking at a profile of someone who is in theater at a company that you may be interested in working on, and with an expanded description of their work and some further information. Be sure you go into your profile and complete all of these. It helps people find you. Say, for example, another idea might be marketing. And again, you can cross-reference this by location, by company, by year, by major. These are just ways that you can find each other. So a new area that we've added in the last year that may be of interest to some of you is your personal affinities and interests. So say, for example, you want to find other Reedies who identify as historically underrepresented or transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming. These are some areas that are now, if you've tagged, are now beginning to be populated, and you can find each other through this search. You could also do that and cross-reference that with an employer, and so you begin to find who might be in an area that has a personal affinity with you in the field of theater, in the field of marketing, or in any one of hundreds of fields that you can either keyword search or drop menu search. You can also look for people in your dorm. So say, for example, you're wondering, who were all the people that I remember from Anna Man? And in this case, you probably would want to put some years around it. Who were in the years that I was at Anna Man? And you'd be able to find all the alums who had tagged Anna Man as their first year and in those class years that you're searching for. Another example might be students or alumni who identify and are seeking other students who might be first generation, low income, or international students. These are all ways to find each other by state, by employer, by field of interest. And finally, in academics, you can also find, say for example, you're interested in finding out more about doing a master's in library science. You can search and find there are 171 matching alumni who have gotten a degree, a master's of library science. Maybe you'd like to refine that by adding the institution that you're interested in attending and finding the alum or alumni who have studied at that particular college and gotten that particular degree. Giving you another example, you might simply plug in a school like Harvard, and maybe you're wondering who has done degrees in political science at Harvard. And this displays of the 328 that have gone to some program in Harvard. These are the 22 alumni, because it extends here, who have done a degree in political science, either some graduate degree at Harvard in political science. And again, you can click through and see the details. Anyone who's included in this list, what they studied, how to contact them, what their current employment is, an expanded description of their work, and ways they'd like to help Reed students and alumni. So you may, for example, write to this alum and say, I was so happy to see that you'd be able to put students in touch with other professionals, or that you might be able to help me think about careers in this space. These are some of the ways that you can use the alumni directory. There's any kind of cross-section that you want to search in, all available to you: location, academics, work, and again, they're drop-down menus, as well as fill in keyword search. And then in terms of networks, you know, your general, where you can keyword search, or you can use one of the communities of purpose. You can type in any field of research. And find alumni who are doing work in that field. You are also able to look at professional associations, specialized training and conferences. You can look for personal affinities and interests. You can look for connections through your first residence hall or through any other area that you identify yourself with. And finally, and excitingly, the legal network are able to search for one another using title, using areas of practice, and using states licensed to practice in, as well as key areas. So please do complete all of your profile. Please, it really makes quite a difference in people being able to find you, and in you being able to find others and to know how to connect with them. Please use this as a way to find one another, to connect, and to create the global Reed Alumni Network.